For my whole life until this point, to be Asian American meant to shrink. Shrink into the backgrounds of films where white protagonists use our collective body as casualty, as pleasure, or just as a cheap laugh. I shrunk in public spaces, in the back of classrooms and on the subway. I was labeled shy and reserved everywhere I went, no matter the volume of my voice or the content of my speech. In the streets of the suburban town in Georgia where I grew up, I watched girls wearing my face wish to become someone else. These young women prod at their body in front of mirrors, wishing for blue eyes that don't slant, unaware that their own already look like puddles of honey in dying sun rays. The coronavirus pandemic has changed what it means to be Asian American. I no longer feel invisible, but rather present in a way that allows for endless public scrutiny. There is no way to exist as if nothing happened when the president of this country calls it the Chinese virus, when he pushes an agenda that singles us out and brings us down. To be Asian American in this era means to be hyper-conscious. When I step outside, I dissect the gaze of each person I encounter. I wonder, who will blame me for the loss we have suffered as a nation? Maybe the citizens of our country will clench their fists at the sight of my high yellow skin and think about their loved ones in hospital beds whose hands they aren't allowed to hold for one last time. To be Asian in America means to be a scapegoat. But why does anger have to be a part of healing? Can a wound close without leaving a scar? This pandemic has not brought about discrimination that wasn't previously there. Coronavirus did not turn anyone into a racist. It merely exposed those who already were. It gave them an excuse to come out of their hiding places, to view my Asian body in public spaces and call it blatantly offensive. It is an era where protesters in Denver yell at a nurse, a frontline worker, to go to China. We let ourselves be labeled a model minority, a term created to divide people of color, pit them against each other when we should be working together. We as Asian Americans have let ourselves be distracted by dreams of wealth and whiteness, forgetting that our difference is not a hindrance, but a strength. As a nation of minorities, of allies and Asian Americans and African Americans and immigrants, we need to band together. We need to do this for people who are physically and verbally assaulted by strangers who know nothing about them beyond their race. For Ahmaud Arbery, who was shot for the color of his skin while jogging in Georgia. For the Asian woman who suffered chemical burns in Brooklyn after a man poured acid on her body. For my grandmother in Shanghai, who suffered through one revolution already, whose infantile body was carried over miles of black water to escape men with hands that only knew how to inflict hurt. Yes, we are suffering loss on an unprecedented level. It is too easy to direct this loss towards something tangible. But hurt isn't something that can be resolved through fists and harsh words. No amount of bullets can bring our loved ones back.